Hey, I'm Rose. I am currently studying for Smart City Engineering, and I'm also interning with a small startup company that rents out servers for AI training and development. I'm going to be talking today about AI prompt writing and what makes a good prompt, what's going to get you the best results. I'm going to be talking about AI prompt writing. I'm going to be talking about what makes a good prompt, what makes a bad prompt, and what will get you better results versus what's going to get you worse results. So the AI prompt is really just the instructions that you're giving to the AI. And a lot of people, when they first start using AI, they treat it like a search engine. So AI isn't really a search engine. It's not like Google or Bing. If you type in an input and you're treating it like a search engine, you're not always going to get the best results. What AI is really strong at is when you have a bunch of data, it's good at compiling the data. It's also good at seeing linkages where you may not see them. So it's a tool that allows better data processing, in my opinion. And this can give you like with this understanding, it gives you an idea of what to ask for to get the best results. So if you're trying to get a document together for a company, then you can put in the laws that you have to follow for that document. You can put in different drafts of other documents, examples, etc., and it will compile a document that matches those drafts that were input or those examples that were input, as well as those regulations that have to be followed, and give you an output that is something viable, which of course you would have to go through to make sure that like all of the language is correct, but that will give you like a solid output, right? So once you understand what a solid input looks like, you're really only limited by your imagination for these company things. That I'm working for, everything kind of fell together at the right time. My friend was starting up a small company in renting out servers for AI development, and I was looking for an internship that had to do with something within the umbrella of smart city engineering, and data and AI are kind of a large cornerstone of that. So I was helping with the development of this company by helping developing the corporate structure and the accounting foundation system and just keeping track of everything. So I had no experience with this. I've never started a business. I have never like structured a corporation, and I kind of was learning as I went. Now, I did make a couple mistakes or happy accidents, you know. So one of the biggest mistakes that I ended up making was I spelled my best friend's name wrong. He is the chief financial officer of the company, and I spelled his name wrong on all of the bylaws, on all of the corporate documents, on just everything. And so we threw around ideas on how to fix it. We thought about like leaving the company, just scrapping everything, starting over, not even doing it, just leaving it. And then we thought about like maybe a like incorporating a new business, and I don't know, like we were just we didn't know what to do because fixing it all seemed so difficult. But the so I think we were talking to DeepSeek at that point, and DeepSeek was like, "No, dog, you don't really want to leave that open like that because you could accrue like fines, get into legal trouble, and I think I was going back and forth with DeepSeek for like about a day trying to be like, hey, is there any way that we can like do this? And so eventually we actually settled on what DeepSeek recommended, which was to amend the name. And it was a lot easier than I thought to do it. So I think using like a mixture of tools like Google and AI to navigate that process was very insightful and informative. And it really allowed us to be more thorough in trying to stay out of like legal trouble with filing things wrong, and also just kind of helping us to understand the steps that we had to take to do everything. And that's really what this session's about, just kind of working with the tools available to you to solve these complex problems. When I'm writing a prompt and I'm actually trying to get um, an output that's a little bit more of a product, I start by writing like a role, telling the AI what it is. I give it context because more context is better, and always as much context as you can give. Then I give it like the actual task, what it's trying to output, and if there are constraints I need it to follow, I try to list those. So when I get a role, I'm telling it like, hey, you are. So if I'm having it write legal paperwork, I'm like, you're an Oregon business attorney, you're a lawyer, you're like, and if I'm trying to write some kind of accounting thing, I tell it, hey, you're an accountant. And the reason that I do this is because this gives the AI a parameter to look through. It gives it, like it narrows the data that it's sorting through to come up with your acquisition. So this becomes, kind of important if you're trying to narrow things down to a specific thing. Context is really, really important. The more context, the better. Always, the more you tell the AI, the better the output is going to be. So don't just say, like, my business. You would say, my Oregon corporation called so and so Corp, registry number, blah, 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 which rents high performance servers to AI developers. It's that specificity becomes your biggest tool in having a better, more solid AI output. The better the input, the better the output. So yeah, be like your meat and potatoes. This is what you're actually asking for. You want to be precise about the format, about the length, about the tone, about the purpose. And yeah, this is really just the what this is going to dictate to the AI what it actually needs to do. Brains, in my opinion, are kind of like overlooked, but that's because they have like a specific place that like in thing that they're good at. Um so like specifically uh like making sure that you're setting boundaries for the AI, making sure that it knows what not to like go outside of. Um, so really funny. My friend was telling me about an AI that got stuck on like gnomes or something, and it literally would not output information without including like a side tangent that was like 20 paragraphs long about like gnomes and gnome history. And so, like, but it was really good at what it did do. So the creators of this AI didn't want to scrap it because it was good at what it did. So they just worked within the parameters, and every single time they typed a prompt, they had to be like, and don't talk about gnomes. It's really silly, but the the constraints like that, like I said, they have a place. An example of this prompt that I was using to help me fix the misspelling that I talked about earlier. So I wanted to give you an example of a weak prompt. It would have pretty much just said, fix my incorporation paperwork. What incorporation paperwork? Like, there's no background. So the AI would spit something out, but there's like no telling if it would spit out a draft of some incorporation paperwork or if it would ask you questions to try to suss out like, oh, like what is this person trying to do? And then, like, a little bit better is like, oh, I need a board resolution to amend the articles of incorporation to correct a misspelled officer name. So you're going to get a stronger response, but you may not get what exactly you're looking for. So the strongest prompt is going to have just the most detailed information. So like, I'm the president of this, organ registry number this, the articles incorporation do this. So it explains everything. It breaks everything down. It gives all of the pertinent information so that the AI can write the document with the information in the right spot. And then I also have a tendency to attach examples, PDF with all the corporate documents, because just the more the AI knows, the more you can get rid of that phenomena of the third factor, the thing that's unknown, you know? So that's what we're trying to do is we're getting the AI the information it needs in order to do the job that we want it to do.